This is Wednesday night. It is AfroEconomics Live. We're talking about freedom. Freedom is not free. I got my Natalie Cole playing over there. She don't want to stop. I forgot. These are coming on my ears, and the music's out there. I am JB Bryan, the President and Chief Investment Officer of JB Bryan Financial Group. And I am officially convinced that I am prepared to do a political debate. I'm ready to go. I didn't even know I had all of the tools that we look from home. I promise you, Miss Hernandez, my mother could tell you that me and my brothers and sisters could outdo Trump and Biden. We look and add my nephews and everything in it. Look, that looked like a Thanksgiving political discussion up in the Bryan household. Yes. Oh, Miss Grandich is not. Oh, it's on the computer, not on the phone. I think that she's saying that means she might not talk to me tonight. But I'm just glad that you are with us because this is where the real action is. We're talking about freedom. Freedom is not free. This is the first day of the rest of your life. Eric said, please vote. Eric, you have to send that to panelists and attendees when you go in. You got Eric on the move. He said, vote before November 3rd, early. Vote by mail. Eric says, vote by mail. I say, let's all go. Jenny Jones already went. She got pictures to prove it. Post some of your pictures, Jenny. The Oh my goodness. What's she talking about, Maurice? You have to have a microphone. Afroeconomics, it's a requirement. Right, right. Oh, Miss Hernandez said that the debate last night was a sick display. And I was just about to invite you over to dinner. And you gonna talk about us like that. I just really wonder if other families, because the way that people were so shocked by that, I was like, gosh, I'm the only one with a family that goes into deep discussions like that. I mean, not on some of the level, but just on some of the stuff. And then when they're starting to talking all over each other, oh wow, just seeing it made me say, I gotta do better. I would do better. I'm inspired. I'm inspired to do better. Mr. Jenkins, I'm going to do better. Next time I get in a political discussion, because of what I saw last night, I promise, God give me strength, I will not start talking until the other person stops. But you know what we need on our personal things are timers also. So the next time that you get in a discussion with someone, bring your 2-minute timer. Then the timer, right? Bah, and then they allow you to talk. Because I just start talking because they go way on past the 2 minutes, and I know that they're never going to allow me to say my part. So then that's why people start talking all over each other. Mm. And it's ill. EJ said there he's ill from it. I need to. I'm gonna give y'all some training. I did not know. Miss Walker, see, Miss Walker understand. You must have some family members too that know how to get into them discussions like that, right? You just said she said it was so funny. Miss Walker said she said, "Oh God, we're really in trouble." And you go, and I'm glad that you go vote. That's right. And I did not feel like that at all because I don't feel, and I know that I am, as your financial advisor, either one of those knuckleheads win, I know how to maximize your financial future. It really doesn't matter because all of it ends up being the same way. People that have money win. People who don't have money don't win. Period. I don't care how many government programs they say that they're going to, or any party says they're going to create. Nothing that's given to you will get you to the level that you deserve to be. So at Afroeconomics, I'm going to continue to allow God to use me to motivate us to realize that freedom is not free. I don't care what they do, they don't represent me. I don't care what they do. They do not represent my integrity, my commitment to serving my people and getting rid of the wealth gap, which they didn't discuss at all. That is a daily focus for me. So I just want us to know, and as timely as this is, and I wasn't even like coming thinking about the debate because chose this topic, Monday, you know, but that freedom is not free. And there is a certain freedom that I enjoy that a lot of people don't get to enjoy. And that's my goal, for you to feel the freedom that I feel. Since 1995, I have sacrificed every day to feel the freedom that I enjoy now, over 25 years later. Right? I mean, think about it. So let's just talk. Let's talk about, well, also, I have the report that was done by Market Watch in 2017 that shares 5 of the major things that rich people sacrifice in order to get their financial freedom, to get that 7 digits plus. Get this, these are just 5 of those things. Now, I'm gonna come to you. I want to come to you because I think that it would be interesting to see what Miss Howard thinks those 5 things are, what Andrea thinks those 5 things are, what Andelicia thinks those 5 things are. What does Miss Perkins think those 5 things are? Come in now, somebody open it up. Tell me what do you think are one of the top things that millionaires plus sacrifice on the regular in order to have their financial freedom? And it's funny because I didn't know this, but if those of you who know me, you will know how applicable these things are to my life. So I
One of
mean,
them is time, JB. They sacrifice their time.
woo! Isn't that the truth? And that's I don't think that's even on the top 5, but that
Oh,
is true. We sacrifice your whole life, right? Your time, your time indeed. What else? That's right. What else? Good. Thank you, Ms. Neville. What else? We're talking about some top things that people sacrifice in order to have that financial freedom. And now I'm saying $1 million represents about 40 to 50,000 in income. What we're trying to do is accumulate assets so that it will pay you income when you're not accumulating anymore. So we're in the accumulation stage. As I was saying to Mr. Dixon, I had a meeting with today. I said, that if you're basically, if you're not, if you're not making money, what are you doing? You spending
spending,
money.
spending money.
Isn't it true?
Yes.
If you're not making money, you're spending money. So, tell me one of the things, another thing they sacrifice. She
Not
kicked.
going on vacation.
Woo! That's in there. Not look, and y'all like, well, I know we doing it, but y'all just sacrificing it now because of what? Because of COVID. Because a lot. But and then look what people have told me, that they've transferred the money. So now they're not going on those trips, but now they're using it on different things.
Like home improvements. Because
Yes.
people can't go nowhere. They sit in their house buying new furniture, getting work done around the house,
Sound
getting
like
a
somebody know what
driveway.
she talking about.
Yeah, I'm looking at my neighbors too.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, you say you ain't the only one,
No,
right?
I see trucks come through here all the time doing construction, doing projects all the time.
Right?
Hmm.
Well, according to Money Watch, they said that the 5 top things that the people surveyed, or that they surveyed, sacrifice in order to get to that 1 million plus. They drive older cars. That was 47% of them said they drive older cars. 45% of them said that they have a modest house, not as much house as they could have.
Oh, yeah.
And just like Ms. Perkins said, they don't travel as much as they would like to. That was over 40% said that if they could choose, they would travel more, but they know that they have to sacrifice because they're trying to save at that time. What about 40% said that they tolerate a higher level of work-related stress than they would like to? You know, they would love to be a Walmart greeter, but they know that that's not going to pay them what they want, right? They want that. Seven, then they have to tolerate that higher level of work-related stress. And you'll see that, right?
Right.
Those of you want to bring your income to the next level. Have you heard people who say, they want me to be a supervisor, but
I have said that.
oh, because you didn't want that additional stress, right?
Right, right.
Right?
Right.
But in order to get to that next level, to get to the level you deserve to be on, then it is about acknowledging that sacrifice that you have to make to do that. Sometimes it's just, but of course, I didn't know you at that time. If I had known you at that time, I would have said, look, I call you every day when you go by, but you're going to have to take that job. I'm going to call you the way I'm going to send you a motivational tape, but you got to take that job.
But some of these jobs, JB, I mean, they require blood, not just stress. And
yes.
it is, some people have to choose between that and their family because
yes.
sometimes these jobs will really drain you.
Yes.
And I didn't like how they wanted me to treat people.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to sacrifice having friends too.
Yeah.
You have no friends. That's number 5. Sacrifice. I'm just joking. No, but it says. But
that's true, JB, because all we got is you.
Exactly. And all I got is you. But really, that 5th point was, like Ms. Neville said, is the work that so much that it takes time away from your social life or your family. 27, which is amazing. Only 27% of them said that they have to work that much. Most of them just said in order to not have to work that much, I mean, we can interpret it that way. They had to take a job that's more stressful. They had to give up some trips. They had to come down on the mortgage that they could have been approved for. Because, when you go in to buy, they go, well, let's look at what you make. And then they want you to max out what you can get approved for. And that's a common strategy. Can I get an amen on that?
Yes.
That's a common strategy.
Yeah.
Then that has nothing to do with your financial plan. If we don't go into it, like I was just discussing, tonight with a couple, and I was telling them that if we're going to refinance, and that's how I see it too. If you refinance, I feel like I'm in it too. If we're going to take some of your equity to do these things, we got to have a strategy to it. Because the loan officers, their job is to get the maximum loan. My job is to make sure you do things that are always in your best interest. So, and it's not going to always, the hard hits, I have to be willing to take on a higher level of work-related stress in order to do this. But
hey,
I know,
I wonder if that is gender related too, because women, we really are going to put our families first, especially if you're a single mother. But if you're a couple or if you're a man who don't really kind of have those responsibilities or have a wife that's got the family, they can take those risks and take those higher stress jobs because they're not worried about the family.
That's a good point. I bet if we saw the numbers, the majority of those surveyed were men. When we're talking about how to get over $1 million, I know that in the article, most of the people quoted were men. So that's a very good point. So if they're surveying people who have someone else to take care of the family, they have their spouse, then, and a white male is much more likely than a black female or a black male to have a family member, you know what I mean, that can focus on the family. No, and then I feel that that is something that we need to sacrifice as well, in realizing that if we, want our children, to have the type of relationship or to be brought up by you and not by the daycare, as Andelicia just said, what? It takes sacrifice. We're giving up money. I know I did. For 18 years, I was a single parent. I'm still, she's 19. I'm still a single parent. But at 18, you feel like they're grown, but she's not. Just yesterday, I'm sending thousands of dollars to her college. You know, it doesn't stop, but it does. I know that right now, a lot of single parents are in a serious financial crisis
Right. Yes.
because of the kids not going to school.
Yep.
This is a hard time. This is a very hard time. And I encourage that people in that situation, please encourage them to do the free membership of AfroEconomics. How the type of people that we have around us makes such a difference in our life. So some points, some things, and y'all give me some feedback on this as we go through. And don't worry, you can talk all over me. It don't matter, because you know what? I know how it is. Exactly. Look, I'm not going to mute you, and I'm not going to be offended. Y'all are so polite. We can show them how to do a debate, right? So just speak freely. So I want us to just look at some of the points I brought out, and I want your feedback on things that we should consider sacrificing in order to achieve the financial goals that we have. Now, I must point out that uh, everybody needs to have a plan. That's why that's one of the first things that we do in the membership is I get you into that money guide to start thinking about your plan, what you want to accomplish, how you want your financial freedom, and most importantly, what does financial freedom mean to you? So we all have a certain amount of money that comes in. And as we just said, that the majority of people who have become financially free had to make these sacrifices. But I mean, let's just think about it from an Afroeconomics perspective. The majority of people surveyed in here said they drove older cars. I believe, and I'm not even stereotyping here, I truly believe that our community um, does drive better cars than the income that they make. And definitely more than what the assets are that they have. What I'm saying is, if we look at, you can find someone in the Black community that might make $40,000 a year, and they may be driving a $100,000 vehicle. They may be driving like a Range Rover. But you see in other communities, are you getting what I'm saying here? In the white community, it's much less likely, please mute. It's much less likely for them to make $40,000.
Tell me why we can't get this thing to work.
I know, Mr. Joe. Tell him. I know for sure. I know that voice. I'm gonna get that, y'all. I'm not sure. Mike has his hand up. It's a phone listener because everybody else is muted. Oh, who is it? I see that.
Randolph and Janet.
I got it. It sure is.
Mhm.
It's the Joes. We're gonna get them. And I was like, it's not Mr. Joe. And y'all like, yes, it is. I think the baby, they got the big grandbaby with them. So Definitely, I was saying that I feel that we culturally have really gone into that. The car kind of represents you. It's become more of a representative of our status. And I think that it's interesting now that we see that that's a common thing, that those with a million plus that are actually sacrificing. And
Bottom left.
I would even say, like, I would even say that that's amazing. I don't know how they got unmuted. And I'm gonna- I gotta if it does it again, I'm gonna figure out. I'm gonna find it and then I can um put it in don't allow to talk. Okay, it's muted. But so one of the first things on things that that I feel that we should think about in our financial freedom is that we can have everything that you want, but you have to have a priority list. Like if you want to have this, then what are you going to give up, in order to have that particular um trip that you want to take? That means because you can't, there's no way that if you're trying to accomplish money over the long term that you can have everything. Am I making sense? You can only spend the same amount of money once. So if you're saying I need to save half of what I'm making, if you came and you said I want to have $100,000 by the end of this year, or I want to have $100,000 by the end of 5 years, and then we decide that you need to be saving at least 30% of your income, for the next 5 years, and then not even considering any return or whatever, that this is what you need to do. Then if that's what you want, then that means that you're going to have to make sacrifices. So we have to, as as you will see. How you doing, Theresa?
I'm doing great. Just coughing off my. I just dropped some food. Might have went the wrong way.
You okay?
And I just need to drink something to wash it down.
Beautiful. Don't let something happen to us. While we're doing this, I don't know what we would do, would we? And so the so make sure that we pick what is important to us as we're making these sacrifices, because I think that if you try to sacrifice too much, it starts wearing on your willpower over time, and you feel like I gotta at least live, or I gotta live, I've got to do this. So it starts, just being um you start becoming impulsive. I read this book one time and was talking about willpower, and it was kind of addressing like why does successful people make these mistakes, and you say like, why would that happen, or how would they end up, doing that? What are they doing in there, doing drugs or messing around on their wife, or but all of that's connected to all of the stress that they're under, having the stressful careers, not, and you don't know, but but it takes a lot when they're under all of those different sources and forms of stress, and or anything that's going on, that it's wearing down their willpower over time. So you have to really, in order to manage our life well, we have to set priorities and pick what is important to you. And the second point I wanted to bring out is to consider just using a debit card for your purchases, so that you can make and keep your life very simple. And not to say that because it's so easy for your life to become complicated. And sometimes I'll go somewhere and I don't have my debit card. So then I'll end up using the credit card. And then I have to remember the next week to go in and make sure I pay that credit card off, and things. And it's not fun, but you have to make a point. Like that has to be part of the sacrifice. And as an entrepreneur, I've always felt like on everything on that list, I have had to sacrifice for the last 25 years. Definitely. Mm. And a lot of times I get pressure, from the outside. Not, like sometimes my mom will be like, can you do so much such and such? Like not for her, but just something that they want to do or they want me to be at. And I've had to say, like, I have to work. And then she'll say, what do you mean you have to work? You own the business. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, but they don't get it, but it's not for anyone else to get but you just have to make sure that you manage your life in the way that you have, and there's always going to be sacrifices. So you have to, a third point I wanted to, and that is related to what I was just sharing, is that we have to sacrifice the need to fit in. That but because you have to be willing to stand out and be your authentic, real, genuine self, and get to the point where it's like, regardless of what anyone else thinks, this is how you're going to live your life. Like, I have an aunt, and she would get a lot of pressure from her friends because they will go, you got money, why don't you get a new car? You got money, why don't you get a new car? And I would tell her that they are used to being in that payment mode all the time. You know, my aunt just led a modest life, but she never had to worry about money. That is her financial freedom. Living well below her means so that she can accumulate money. You can't spend it and accumulate it also. Mm. So she's standing out in her own way because everybody's thinking, we think that standing out is like, okay, you got the fattest Benz, you got the nicest Rolls or whatever, you got the biggest Bentley, that's standing out. No. In a world where people have lack of discipline, standing out is when you're showing your discipline and your commitment to your specific financial goals. And that could take the sacrifice of saying, I know that all y'all doing that, but I'm not going to do that. Everybody is going on the Tom Joyner Jazz trip. That's cool, but they might have more savings than you do. But you said that you wanted, that $100,000 in 2 years. So you got to do what you got to do it. Mm. But there is a positive consequence to being real and authentic to yourself. And what you'll find is, like, and I think some of you have probably heard me say this because I feel like this is like the cycle of, biblically and reality, that first you're ignored, then they fight you, and then you win. You got to stay focused on your goal. And the fight might just be everything that's trying to pull you against it. Oh, they doing a trip to Atlantic City, and you want to go, but you know that that's not on your plan. Mm. And then a fourth point is that don't focus on today. Focus on decades down the road. That it's easy to focus on how you want to make sure that you feel good today. But freedom is not free. Financial freedom is not free. It is not, it has taken a lot from me to focus on having this opportunity to talk to you today. I earned it. And there's a certain amount of confidence that comes when you've earned it. And earned it because I've focused constantly on delayed gratification. I could be chilling now, but I know that it's the process that makes my life, not the end. But we've been programmed to think that, when is the end? When do I get to the end to this? Just because you switch from one thing to another, everything doesn't have to be the end. It could just be the end of that. That's it. But it can be, then you're going on to this. Mm. And even though it feels like I might be suggesting that there's never enough, You know what I'm saying? It's always enough. We need to live in a state of this is exactly where you're supposed to be at this particular time. And it is enough, but you're building on that and it's compounding because of your sacrifice. You don't want to rob your future by robbing your present. You know, you don't want to take away from what can be getting returns for you by only focusing on this feels good. I'm going to do it now. And it's going to be feel horrible 10 years from now. I mean, we make decisions today. What we're talking about today, the time that you're spending with me right now is what determines what your next year looks like. The effort I put out now determines 2021. 2020, you know what I'm saying? Determines 2021 and 2030 and all of that. You could tell what somebody's been doing, what somebody was doing 20 years from that ago when you see them 20 years later. And but they think, I ain't do nothing. I don't know why I ain't broke. You know what I'm saying? Well, you never showed up for work. Every Monday you were gone. Every Monday you did not show up for work. So you have never had a job that can even give you a reference. And then they go, I don't understand, because they're living in the short term because something made them feel like this is, I got to do this and I got to focus on this right now. They're focused on the short term instead of thinking about, I have to do right because I want to build, I want to build, I want to build something that is real. I want to build something authentic, not something that just looks right, but something that has a solid foundation of integrity. So I want us to consider as a fifth point that change what you say about yourself. And we talked about that a little last week, but your financial situation changes based on how you feel or what you've decided on what you're worthy of. Like the other day, I was telling one of the members, I said, let me look at the tax return before you turn it in, and they said, I'm tired of this right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn this one in, but maybe next year we'll look at it. And I said, I understand. But I'm thinking to myself, how many times in their life will they ever have an experienced professional who will say that I will do this? Not any charge, any extra charge of than their $30 membership. You know what I mean? I want to do this for you. I want to do, and I'm telling you that I often get turned down on attempts to just help people have an extra eye. Because we don't need to just be signing things and sending it back. We need to have a partner that's looking out for our best interests. And maybe there is an issue and I don't catch it, you know what I mean? And then the IRS catches it later, but at least we tried. Now, if it's called later, I never even had a chance to help you because many of us are just using tax preparers. They're not really tax planners. And what I focus on is empowerment. So when I help you go through your tax return, y'all know, those of you who have helped, I take you step by step. And that's not where I get compensated. I'm a registered investment advisory president. You know what I'm saying? But because of finding so many errors now on tax returns, it's become like an addiction for me that I'm tired of my people being done wrong. I want the tax preparers to be afraid. You go, I'm in AfroEconomics. I want them to sit up and do it right. So, but you deserve it. Change that I am statement. Don't say I am tired. I'm just going to settle. I'm just going to accept this. No, you say, I am going to get that to you. I appreciate the help. I am going to be the best that I can be. I am going to utilize every resource that God brings my way, person or book or a video or whatever the resource is, use it. And the sixth point is, and I write about this in the book, to choose freedom over comfort. See, we think that freedom is comfort, but freedom is not. Freedom is what is created by sacrifice, and it's uncomfortable. And it's uncomfortable. Freedom could be the healthy choices of even what you choose to put in your mouth so that your money can stay in your pocket. And that's a sacrifice to be committed to your health. We have to take our health and our wealth very seriously. We have to choose freedom for the rest of your life over your existing today comfort. Oh, this feels good. You're probably doing the wrong thing. Take the extra effort to put off getting the car if you really know that you don't have the money to buy it. Put off, take that time to think about just yourself. Mm, think about you. And then the seventh point, and we're talking about having financial freedom, that freedom is not free. Freedom is full of sacrifice. Think about the phrase, freedom is not free. That's a military term. That was used in the military and still is on what is sacrificed by our military so that we can have the life of freedom that we have. That's what they're saying. They're not talking so much about, money and free. They're talking about people are giving up their lives so that you can be free. And that's what we have to do. We have to be willing to do that. That's like when I was saying, when I look at the debate, it doesn't bother me because I feel free from that. I don't feel connected to that. I'm going to give you your vote, but neither one of y'all determine my future. I mean, and that is truly how I feel. You know, I feel that Afroeconomics, that we have much of a greater impact on the future of the Black community than either one of those candidates. That's how I feel. And I'm going to continue this movement in order to increase Black wealth. I am. And any one of them that wants to help make that happen, God use them. So so I want us to consider replacing our egos with confidence, competence, and humility. And see, sometimes we think that ego and confidence, are the same thing, but no, like, that ego is more when you think that everything is just about how you are, how you're not even thinking about the impact of our actions on the world and how we can make the world a better place for everyone connected to you. That's where your confidence is very important, not ego. Ego will keep you in the here and now. Confidence, competence, and humility will keep you focused on, I want my life to live on forever. I want what I do to have an impression on this planet forever and ever. So, in order for that to happen, we have to live through those who we've done for. Mm, mm, mm. Well, so on eighth point is I want us to be particular about how we spend our time and those who we spend our time with. No, the that who you decide you're better or worse is going to be with has a huge impact on your life and your financial well-being. And it's very important. I used to have a membership, but nobody really used it. But it was called like for prenuptial, and I had a catchy name. I don't know. It's still in there stored, but it was just about that. What to do, what to, to address. You should start looking at yourselves financially together because you are, if you need to do like credit check on each other and see how their mindset is about money, how they adjust money, how they um approach money, because your life is forever impacted by that person. So, and that same thing goes with our friends, and your coworkers and the people you allow into your business, and who are your, who are those people who you're, if you want to take your life to the next level, you might have to make sure that you reduce the amount of time that you're spending with the people who don't want to go to that level. Those of you with the open mic, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Being
Yes.
particular.
So true.
Be particular in the set standards, stick with it. And then a ninth point, and that's where the humility comes in, because you're going to want like to always be liked all the time, but when you get into a point of, I know that my financial freedom, I know that my life freedom, I know it is not going to be free. It's going to rely, or it's going to require some sort of sacrifice. I think that we don't tell our Black young people enough that there's sacrifice involved. They have this thing where, and people ask me all the time, do you know about any loans for small businesses? That, and when I tell them that I did not take out a loan to start my business, you don't have to, I mean, that is like, unless it's a business that is like equipment or you need trucks or something like that, that's a whole different thing. It ain't gonna be no problem getting loans for that. But you're talking about just a service company and getting loans, that's unnecessary. That's a loan just because you want to keep, not yourself from sacrificing, but you want to spend your money on things that appreciate, that it create income, that increase in value, especially if you're going to go into debt, which is my 10th point. But my ninth point is to just save, save, save before you spend. Invest, invest, invest in yourself. Like, don't get me wrong. The very best investment is the investment in you. That is the very best investment that you can make. Getting the skill, getting the training, getting the knowledge, becoming better at what you do. I overwhelmingly probably put 90% or more of what my business makes back into the business, back into the business, unapologetically. I want it there. That is it. That is it. That's investing in myself. So that's like if somebody works somewhere, they're taking their whole salary, they're taking it and they're putting it, you know what I mean, back into their 401k. And that takes sacrifice. Because I could be what? Living totally differently. Having name brands on every time we log in. No, that's outside of my Afroeconomics philosophy. I've tried that. It's totally stupid. I had to start investing into my business, writing books, doing the events, having webinars, putting the money back into the business. Who cares? Somebody cares about what kind of car I drive up with. They need to read my book.
Mm-hmm.
No, that ain't where she is. Been there. They need to know me 20 years ago if they want to see a Benz. Had a whole bunch of them. Should have taken more pictures. But you know what I'm saying? That's why everybody, but that type of person is not going to, be able to tolerate someone like me for long who's going to say it takes sacrifice. And it does. That's why so many people think that Black people with money, they must be stealing or they must be robbing from somebody, you know what I mean? And because they know that they're never at work and they're not working. No, it don't take much to look rich. All you got to do is get some loans and make some payments. That's easy. But people are buying things that decrease in value and they're getting loans for it. Never purchase anything that goes down in value on a credit card. If you have money, like I did, like with my motorcycle, that motorcycle is not worth anything like what they charge for it. But But my Japanese bike is a much better investment than my Harley Davidson. The Harley Davidsons depreciate even quicker, and the market for it's even smaller. And we don't even, think about it because we're thinking more on brand. And I said, I can't believe I allowed myself to go and suckered in. And when that Harley got totaled, I put money right into that Japanese bike and bought the entire bike. And I had promised myself during my second bike motorcycle that I would never finance a bike. It's stupid. How can I be driving? I'm not gonna say it's stupid because I know some of my biker friends. It's not a smart thing to do because you are financing something at say 6%, and it's going down in value at 20% a year or more. It's not good. So never, even residential properties are, a lot of them are not going up in value at the rate, you know what I'm saying, that people need in order to make it a viable investment for them. But at least they have a place to live. So you don't think of that as much as a depreciating assets, but it does happen. There are a lot of people, especially in our Black neighborhoods, who are upside down in their homes, meaning they can't sell them for as much as they bought it for, and as much as they owe on the loan because it's gone down in value in the neighborhood. That's not good. So never finance based on a cash flow. And that means, like, so if you have to take the sacrifice to save up for the car, and that is just my philosophy, that I just believe from learning it from the school of hard knocks that you do not, and now I see people talking about it, but I had to do it when it was not so much fun. And my philosophy was, if I can't buy it cash, like I bought my Wrangler, you know what I mean, then I'm not going to buy it, because the payment process on a depreciating asset is useless. It's useless. Like you can't even, at least if you put the money into the asset, you could actually, get like a title loan or something on, the asset because you own it. But if you're sitting there making payments on it and you're still paying that interest and it's going down and down on value. mm, So just because you go in and they go, what are you making? And, oh, okay, you can get this one because you can afford this monthly payment of this amount. Don't believe the hype. You save up. We're going to have to like make that type of sacrifice. Ride together. Do the Uber. Save the money. Don't carry a credit card balance. And my final point is just invest in our future consistently, meaning all the time. Focus on what can you do to create a better future for yourself. For some of you, it is going to be health, protecting your health, making sure that your health doesn't get the best of you. Because we have been discriminated against, we've been oppressed. You worked 30 years in corporate America, that is a lot on your body, your mind, your spirit. So we need to renew ourselves. We need to free ourselves. You need to, yes, Ms. Ramadane said, yes, invest in yourself. Yes. Is your microphone open, Ms. Ramadane? I'm not
Yes, it's
sure.
open.
Yes, indeed. And that you get that? And and
Yes, most
and
definitely.
I'm so glad you made me so glad today when you were telling me that you're gonna be starting on your doctorate. You know what I mean? That is so true. I mean, that's just so good. And I'm glad because I often wondered, like, why am I working on this? Why am I doing my doctorate? And if for no other reason, it is to inspire you and others to continue to learn. And I enjoy it. Like, I was just especially when it's something that's making you better at the reason you've been put here on the planet. And that I know that you have more to offer. I know that everyone in here that I know, like, I mean, just think of Mr. Smith, constantly is investing in himself, but here he is A grown man with a brand new career in personal training because he took care of himself while he was in corporate America. Mm, mm, mm. So, yeah, but EJ, career students are different than people who work and take classes at night. Career student doesn't have a job. Oh, that's Miss Hayes. Look, exactly. You're a lifetime learner. We're not a career student. Look, a career student, look, that's a student that's made a career of it. We're not so fortunate. Like that's the one I guess that has parents like the Hayeses. Mm, mm, mm. Yes, that is what I want to be. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And you would be a good one too. If I did if I that would be the biggest punishment if all I had to do was go to school. I wouldn't do it. I like it just to add on to my stuff. You like school when you would do it all the time. I love working with you all. I have just always been that way. Look, even in high school, if McDonald's had said, quit high school and work here all the time, I'd have me some 10, 20 McDonald's locations right now. It's still look, those who do, we do. No matter what it is, we make it work, don't we? Either we work. We work. Yes, indeed, we work too. Well, thank you all so much. I'm just gonna summarize that my point is that our freedom is not free, and that we're going to in order to get to the levels that we need to or we want to be, first of all, you got to want it. I want to be financially free. I don't want to have to worry about those two people that were up there debating, about my financial future, or if I'm going to have to worry about or what type of, program. I want all of us to know that we'll be okay. That you'll be okay, that you have enough assets in order to take care of having your health insurance, having a healthy retirement, saving for, your future, and keeping yourself healthy. Mm. So I want us to first make sure that in our journey of freedom, that we think about what is important to you, and let's make sure that you get that. And then make sure that you keep your finances simple and consider just using your debit card for all of your purchases. And so you can keep it simple and you see everything going through the same account. You know, and then know that you don't have to fit in. Sacrifice that desire to fit in. Be willing to be the standout that you are and be alone. You know, but you won't be lonely. And then know that the, that the short term, some bad decisions might feel good, but we have to be more about the delayed gratification and knowing that we want to make better choices in the short term so that our long term looks better. So we're going to focus on generations, that the impact and what you can do, what your life can do, and how it can make life better for people way beyond you. Change your I am statement to the powerful person that you want to be. I am financially stable. I am financially smart. Don't say that I'm not good with money. Don't say that. Eliminate that from your, um, you know. And I used to, like, when people would say it, I go, don't say that, So I'm trying to do better, but I really feel that there is power in our words. So I want us to focus on the positive. Be what you want to be before. See yourself where you want to be before you're there. Be there in their mind. Choose freedom over comfort. Say that I have to do this so that I can be free of that. I'm not going to get that car right now because I don't want that that pulling away from my ability to get this emergency account together. We got to have that emergency money And it's hard, hard, hardest, hard. It's real hard to just keep your money together. And it's, but replace the ego that might make you think you can have everything and you can have everything right now. Replace that useless egotistical thought with, I got to be competent, I got to be confident, and I have to be humble and realize the reality of it is that I can only do this at this particular time. And be conscious and particular about the friends and the groups and the decisions on how you spend your time and who you spend your time with. Save, the ninth point, save before you spend. Save and invest in yourself and save some more. Save into your business. Save into the retirement accounts at work. Save into the IRAs if you don't have an account at work. Save even now that you're retired. Keep your money available. Don't purchase things based on monthly payments. Purchase things based on, I have enough savings to buy it. I have this money for this car right here. Don't base it on, I can pay that payment. We can move away from that. It doesn't matter how much they say they can improve you for. I want to get us to the point where it's like, I have this, then I'll buy this. And it will change the kind of car you will be looking for. I know that. When you're talking lump sums versus payments, don't carry a credit card balance. So that's going to mean sacrificing also. Freedom ain't free. And invest in your future consistently. Consistently. Any questions for me before y'all leave me? Oh, thank you, Rosita. How you doing? See you. Y'all good? Thank you. They don't want to talk, but I appreciate y'all kind words. Thank you all so much. And remember, we have Friday members only meeting. Saturday, the AKAs of North Carolina are presenting me to the world. It's in our events box. We're going to talk about you, your future, your vote, your money, all of that. And it's of course free. At noon on Saturday, if you have time, the ladies are actually, I'm gonna put them in on the panel, as well. So to be cute. The head, not the head, but the member in their chapter is my cousin. So you'll get to meet Pamela also. Indeed. Oh, thank you, Stimmy. Thanks and good night to you. And then Sunday morning we have our Sunday at sunrise. Um, and then this Sunday at sunrise, it's going to be about overcoming generational oppression. And I look forward to it.
Are you still having the festival, the fest in February?
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, that last weekend in Black History Month, but looks like it's going to be all online.
Okay.
I hope you're still going to help us. You going to help me? You gonna
Yes.
help me this year? That's right. Good. Still gotta have my hostesses. You did a great job last year. So yes, y'all plan um working on
Thank
the
you.
books and everything already. So yes, indeed, the last weekend in February, we're gonna do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday online. So let's have some breakfast, lunch, and dinner together.
Great.
Will it be open at all? I'm not sure your question. Indeed. Thank you. I see you, Paula G. Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Moses. I hope this helped. Oh, great. Miss Howard's going to be there. Yes, we are. After that. Oh, yeah, that's only from 12 to 1. Our meeting is after that. Yo, thank you. Oh, yeah. The fest is only for members. The AfroEconomics Fest in February is only for members. So they can be a free member, they can be annual, they can be an asset-based member, they can be a no excuse member for the absolutely free. but they have to be a member in order to register now. I had it open, and I was telling Janaya has to call those other people because um because it's online. I have to make it more limited so that we can have our flow correctly. I have to also ask them about my max and the webinar, and I want to try to do some breakout groups and all that kind of stuff. Yes, please sign up. It is on the events calendar already, and I'll send out an announcement for that on it. But it's ready, and I'm working on the book. So I'll be sending everybody an ebook. But I think that it's only fair to those of you who are members for it to be for members. And if you have a cousin that wants to go, you can say, Lord, she has a free membership. Just sign up. But I want to be able to talk to members, and we need to have an annual celebration of us. Yes. Yes, indeed. You can call me. Yes, indeed. Y'all be good. Have a good night. Love
Thank
y'all.
you,
Yes,
sis. Love
indeed.
you.
Oh, I love you
Thank you.
more.
Good night.
You good. That's so good. Thank you. Let me see. I get a little music before y'all go. I'm a DJ. Y'all know about Stevie Wonder.